Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here with another team outlook. This time it's the San Francisco Giants, and they had kind of a weird offseason. Some big moves, and also didn't really do much more than that. They did add Justin Verlander, they added Willie Adames, but then they only really added Max Stassi and Jake Lamb to a minor league deal. They lost Blake Snell, which is going to hurt.
Yep.
They lost Taylor Rogers in a trade, and they lost Michael Conforto to the rival Dodgers. They went 80 and 82 last year. The lineup is looking Lamonte Wade Jr., Willie Adames, Jung Hoo Lee's coming back, Matt Chapman, Heliot Ramos, Yastrzemski, Fitzgerald, Encarnacion, and Patrick Bailey. Their bench is Huff, Flores, Wisely, and Matos. So the depth is kind of lacking there in my opinion. But Blake, what's your opinion of this lineup before we get to the pitching?
Yeah, I think the Jung Ho Lee return is going to be big for this lineup. That was their big ad last year. Adamas is going to fit in great. Um, a nice park for him to hit some doubles. But the bottom of that lineup, it's lacking a little bit. Um, Tyler Fitzgerald had a decent year last year. Yastrzemski up and down year, but you got Matt Chapman locked in there long term. This this offense is okay. It's similar to, I would say, the Padres. It's a top heavy lineup. The bottom half isn't that great, but you mentioned it off the top. That loss of Blake Snell is it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and they did bring in Justin Verlander to aid that, but Justin Verlander is, 42 years old,
Yeah,
and not coming off of his best year by any means. So it is Webb, Verlander, Robbie Ray, Hicks, and Harrison. They will have Robbie Ray for a full season this year.
yeah,
He was banged up to start the season last year. And the bullpen, they have Ryan Walker, Tyler Rogers, Camilo Doval, Miller, Hegeli, Trevino, Rodriguez, and Wynn. Yeah, I mean, this is a team that I think could potentially surprise some people because they do have Logan Webb. They do have Robbie Ray. We'll see how Justin Verlander plays in that big ballpark. I think this is a team that could surprise, um, but they need some young guys to step up. And then Jung Hoo Lee, what are we getting out of him all
right.
year?
Yeah,
Um, I like the Adamas addition for the long term.
yeah,
It is Buster Posey's first off season as GM, and I think I would give it, I would trend towards a successful one more than not successful. But this team needs some more pieces, and realistically, I mean, this you could say this for all the NL West teams. Yeah, it's tough when you have to go and fight with the Dodgers for all these guys, and um, yeah, I mean, they have to build within. And that's how they won all those championships
yeah.
with Pablo
Homegrown.
Sandoval, Posey, Belt,
Yep,
Crawford. It was all homegrown.
yep.
And I think that's the formula here. It's going to take some time. But I do think they'll be competitive. They'll be in the mix for sure. Fangraphs has the Giants as a 27% chance to make the playoffs this year, 80 and 81, which doesn't make sense. I guess that would be they're trending more 81 and 81
Yeah,
or 80 and 82, whatever way you want to look at it here.
yeah.
Um, but they're giving them a 2% chance to win the division. They think they're the fourth best team in the NL West. I could see with the Padres if they get hurt a little bit, and you can say this for a lot of teams, but specifically the Padres with their depth, if they lose a guy or two to the injury bug, I definitely could see the Giants surpassing them. But I do feel the Dodgers and Diamondbacks do have the upper hand on this team.
Yeah,
I will give them over 80 wins, though. I'm taking the over on that.
I'll go over, and I think that I would have them ahead of the Padres right now, because of the pitching. I like their pitching better than the Padres. It's going to be interesting to see the usage of Jordan Hicks this year. That he started the year as a starter, and towards the back end, they transitioned him back into the bullpen, and now he's projected to start the season back in that starting rotation. So definitely going to be interesting to see what kind of goes on there. But overall, pretty good off season. I would agree. Anytime you get a chance to add one of the best bats on the market and Willie Adames, it's a pretty good season. But I would have liked him to maybe add one more bat.
Yeah. Again, I am going to take the over on the 80 wins, 81 wins, but I am going to go ahead and say the Giants do not make the playoffs. But for them to get to the playoffs, there's two wild cards. I think it's Jung-Hoo Lee, and the second one's Robbie Ray. If you can tap into some Robbie Ray magic that he had with the Blue Jays a couple years back before the injury bug, before the big contract, in that big ballpark, you know, if you can get Robbie Ray to be a true number two to Logan Webb and not have to rely on Justin Verlander,
Yeah.
maybe we're saying something different late in the season here.
Yeah, if
Um,
Justin Verlander is like your 3-4, you're having a really good season pitching wise, right? If he has to be your ace and your number two behind Webb, then that's you're gonna be in a little trouble.
yeah, I agree. But well, we shall see what happens. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. As always, we appreciate you guys for listening and watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.